This is Anne Butler, the Book Griffin. Welcome to the podcast. In the early years of my book addiction, there was hardly a genre that I would pass by. One of those genres that I consumed quite happily was the Western. I mean, Westerns of the Audie Murphy, Clint Eastwood, Dorothy Malone, Woody Strode type. I read books by Zane Grey, Louis L'Amour, Oliver Strange, and others whose names I don't remember. I'd borrow these from an uncle's stash or from older boys nearby whose parents were friends of our family. Having discussions with those boys afterwards about our favourite characters or favourite scenes steeled my tomboy credentials back then. Once I'd gone through all that piqued my interest from those easy sources, I tackled what my small local library had to offer, and soon that source dried up too. But with lots of other books and genres to choose from, I didn't even notice that I'd walked away from Westerns. Later on, I discovered Western romances, and I still love reading those. But towards the end of last year, on my way back from holiday, I went through the purchases on my Kobo, my Playbook and Kindle to see which of my unread purchases would keep me company in the lounge and then on the flight home. Among the many was St Agnes's Stand, the first Western I would read for probably 15 years that doesn't have a romance subplot. I was hooked from page one. The story starts with a character by the name of Nat, who is on the run from a posse. He's injured, but so far he's outrunning the men who want to bring him to justice for what they believe was an unjust killing. He has a life all planned for himself, and no way was he going to risk being lynched. Then, in the distance, he sees overturned wagons, and they're being attacked by Apaches. His first thought is that there's not much he can do to help, and he means to ride on. However, between the gaps in the wagon, he sees a face. It seemed to be the face of an elderly woman. She's looking right at him. It was as though she was willing him over. Nat couldn't ride away after that. He finds a way to get past the attackers, who are taking their time as they know that time is on their side. They're not really paying attention, and that's why Nat is able to sneak in. Inside, he finds a huddle of nuns and children who are scared and desperate. The story takes us through their survival journey in a really, really vivid way. The author placed me right in the middle of it. I could imagine the smells. I could feel the clog of the dust. I could hear the screaming and feel the suffocating heat, all of which was happening inside the wagons. Outside, in the attackers' encampment, we get sight of the political wrangling among the Apaches, not all of whom agree with continuing the attack. The above premise doesn't sound like there's 200 pages worth of story, but there is, and the author told it extremely well. Some reviewers were bothered by the apparent mindlessness of the Apaches' behaviour, and that it was all too tropey and stereotypical. There is something in that criticism. I would say, though, that I liked that we were given a view that it was not all mindless. I won't say too much more so as not to give out any more spoilers. The author was Thomas Eidson. Thomas Eidson has written several other novels. At least one that I know of was made into a successful Hollywood film. The film and the novel is called The Missing. St Agnes's Stand was first published in 1994. On the basis that I finished it in one sitting, discounting the fact that I was a captive audience, I would recommend giving it a go. Thanks for listening. I am Anne Butler, the Book Griffin. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, like and subscribe to receive notification of new episodes. You can also follow me on Instagram by searching for The Book Griffin.